Because when you're going, and if you, especially if you already own chickens or seeing multiple chickens maybe sitting, you don't want to be taking that, you know, just it's kind of like taking chicken daycare with you everywhere you go. And you could potentially have two healthy flocks, but they have different exposures.
Also, I have parrots too, so there's the hand sanitizer from the chickens to the parrots, which are inside the house. Anytime I do something with my chickens, when I go inside, I wash my hands, and then I pump hand sanitizer. Because they say that chickens and parrots, you don't want to mix their germs.
Yeah, that was something hard for me on one of my chicken sitting jobs. I just had access to the backyard.
Yeah.
And so when I was finished, I could wash my hands in the hose, but I never really felt like I didn't really want to get back in my car and go do something else.
Yeah.
So having some way to wash my hands was nice.
Okay.
Lots of rubber gloves as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Michelle, it might be wise for the sitters to also have a written list of what they won't do.
Oh, yeah. I don't do windows.
I'm not going to wash your car. Or
Yeah.
Mail.
What about I'll put over here, like a bird inventory, having a count of how many birds of what kind, maybe the types. And this goes back to what we were talking about before, but we talked about special needs. I guess that falls under that. I don't know where the special needs is, but there it is. The idea of being able to tell if someone's on medication or getting extra electrolytes or needs some kind of treatment. So, I'll clean this up and yes, sir.
I was just thinking, for yours it was really easy because I could leave them in the coop, but for mine, there's no way I could leave them in the coops. I let them out every day.
Yeah.
So maybe having two people, one for the morning and
Yeah.
one for night.
Okay. Trying to think what else did we, but, oh, I'm sorry, Ruth.
Most important thing for the list is kudos to the person that's taking care of your birds. You have to thank them and tell them how much you appreciate what they're doing.
Appreciation. Appreciation. It is true.
They're getting eggs.
Yes.
How about pet names and, you know, what they like?
The little profile. List here.
Easy access to feed.
Yeah.
If somebody's going away, if you needed vet access.
Sure.
Because in the past, I've left my car at the vet, and I know who the vet is. If anything happens, call them. Have you done something like that?
I haven't had that or has left their vet contact information and has either told me, you know, they're real familiar with my animals or I already know that I'm.
So in some manner, that's covered.
Okay. You guys want to start using, some people ask for recording, and I've been up there, I can maybe find some, hopefully they can. If you want, if you don't want to, don't worry about it, but I'm going to put it, I'm just going to hand it, it's off right now, just turn it on. If you think it would be hard to hear, I think we can all hear each other though pretty well here. Sorry guys. We'll have the list. So, okay. Anything else we need to add here? This is getting to be a good list. I might ask at this point, since we just had this experience, we just went out of town, Shane and I, and Sarah just came over. She was real laid back. She's like, okay, yeah, just whatever you need. But we gave her a written list. You want to talk about
dog crate.
Protect
Inside of a dog crate,
Yes,
right, so the
yes.
raccoons and stuff can get
in the shade.
in.
She was great. When I came back, it was pretty scary. But it was pretty easy. I mean, there wasn't anything that was, I think, stepping out of the comfort zone.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I never did.
The weird
At
thing is,
first, it was okay, within the second day, I didn't even notice he was attacking me, and I just ended up outside the coop with a stain on my leg.
I would say, and not in his defense by any means, but I would tell people advise long pants or covering, just as a precaution, just maybe long pants if practical. Yeah, my rooster, I had one neighbor visit him, but she has a mannerism, she's wonderful, that even my dog was like, it was because she came in and didn't introduce herself and came by the dog. My dog went, whoa, what's going, and was really put off by that. It took her a little while to warm back up. She's like, you didn't go about this right. But, so the rooster hadn't bugged us, but she immediately went, or he immediately went at her. And I thought, I guess it's this natural nature. I thought, well, maybe it was just because of the mannerism and the aggression, and not the aggression deliberately, but the posturing that he perceived. So I left Sarah, it's from Natural Gardener, like a black mesh bottom, you know those that you carry plants in? And what I do with him, if I think he's going to get aggressive, I just put, because most of the time he isn't with us, I'll just put it in front of him and it kind of screws him up. You can't quite tell because it's just like weird vision, so he just gets real confused. In front of him all day. But when Sarah told me that he attacked her every day, I'll be honest, we're thinking, we just haven't had time to research how you transition one rooster out and put another one in. I don't know that I don't know that I would give him to someone, because if he's been aggressive, I don't think that's a good giving. We might be looking at recipes, to be honest. But sorry guys, you don't want to hear that. But we're trying to figure out. So knowing those things could happen, and I think especially if knowing if children are going to be coming too. And if you have a rooster, I had a very docile rooster who didn't bug any adult before, but we saw a little boy, and I was at a distance. I saw it coming. The little boy went up to him and went like, with just a stick, bang. He said, none of that. And then, of course, you see the boy running off traumatized, which I thought all the rooster stories you hear of people who remember the rooster from when they're little, from their grandma. So, I guess children.
The directions were very clear enough, and they just did a walkthrough with me, showing where everything was.
That's a substantial list of preparation. How long does it take to boil chickens? Yes, or to make?
Oh, I think a lot goes into, if you can plan well, then you can make the time when you're there pretty simple. Meaning a one-time intro, going over a walkthrough so it's all familiar, and especially if someone's had brought up that kind of animal, chickens or whatever. But if you're learning, it might take, the walkthrough might be a little bit more if they're brand new to it. And I would say making sure the sitter has done some homework in advance. You shouldn't be their teacher fully on chickens or whatever. I think they need to have done some reading, some exposure, so that they have some feeling of what might happen. So I would say sitter, research and stuff.
Might also depend on how long you're going to be gone too. If you're just going to be gone for a day or two.
Right.
You can also have a sitter who's not necessarily super knowledgeable about illness or something, but you have a backup friend who
Yes.
can't come every day, but who can be the urgent call,
Right.
responder. Because you can always get it. Like my chickens